Man, audio doesn't work. Mic check. Everything's broken. I got it. It's on now. Oh, it is what it is. Yeah, market crashing like your volume. I was just complaining anyways. I said, look, I'm a little low energy. I'm looking at the markets and I'm like, you know, mining profits down, portfolio down, YouTube down. I mean, YouTube's been going down into the crapper for a long time, so that one is expected. It's been like months since YouTube's done anything relevant for me financially. So that one doesn't even matter. Nobody can buy any of the parts that we talk about on the channel because there's nothing in stock, so affiliate revenue is just a joke. What is that? $100 a month? Best thing we got is some gamer subs for a total of $134 a month in profit. Man, boys, it's not looking good. So we're going to talk about the cryptocurrency mining profits obviously tanking today. It's kind of interesting because we did see, obviously, the drop in difficulty and the drop off the network, at least for Bitcoin, due to the issues going on in Kazakhstan. We also have Team Black Miner and LOL Miner releases to talk about, and that's going to be interesting. And then we'll kind of go over, of course, primarily profitability today, what I'm looking at, what you got to kind of take into consideration, and then kind of go from there. So before we get into it, we're going to hit up the ad for the day. Today's sponsor is myself. To support the channel, click the join button below the video and you will get access to our privately hosted Rocket Chat. Selecting the $1.99 option will get you access, and after that you need to head over to the membership tab, scroll down, and expand out your membership perks. Find the section for connecting on social media, and in that section there will be a secret registration URL to join Rocket Chat, where you can sign up to enjoy talking with other cryptocurrency enthusiasts and miners without spammers, scammers, or bots. Did it try to play it twice? All right. Welcome back. We just did the self-sponsorship for today. Don't tell me how to say Kazakhstan. What's up, Waz? I forgot the whole bit on that, by the way. I did. All right, so let's hop into the miner releases for the week or for the day. We have LOL Miner version 1.40 to go over here. Of course, the window capture broke. That's fine. We can fix it. All right, so LOL Miner 1.40 released yesterday. Improved performance of TON solvers by up to 1.5% depending on your GPU. Lowered TON miner fee from 1.5 to 1%. Increased TON HTTPS mining polling interval for less server load. Also improved blocking preventing mechanisms. LOL Miner can now communicate with Stratums using WebSockets. You need to start your pool address with WSS:// to use this mode. Significantly improved TON mining pool compatibility. Added a new parameter, TON mode, to toggle between modes. Available modes is 0, automatic switching depending on the pool address provided. 1. TON Miner, Vanilla Miner compatible. Default on all pools that have an address starting with HTTP, except the ones mentioned below. 2 would be for ton-pool.com WebSocket. Default on HTTPS next.tonpool.com. This will receive new jobs via WebSocket, keeping in mind that TonPool was just hacked recently. Just heads up. TonCoinPool.io Stratum, default on WSS://ppls.toncoinpool.io/stratum. This will do a full stratum communication, in this case via WebSocket. For TonUniverse.com compatible, default on HTTPS:// pool.tonuniverse.com. This mimics the communication of the TON Universe miner. Important note for China miners. All pools that run on WebSocket require SNI to be activated for their WebSocket connection. Therefore, WSS://pools have SNI activated. Avoid these pools, or on ton-pool.com, force the miner to TON mode 1 instead. Further note, when having the miner in mode 0, the different pools can be mixed in failover pool configurations. So it's interesting that LOL miners putting a ton of effort into mining TON or supporting TON. TON's pretty low cap. My mining experience personally with TON when I tried it last week was terrible. Maybe we'll try it again. Let me know how y'all's experience mining TON has been, because mine was absolutely awful. I wasted a day making $30 on a 6000 series rig, making 3 TON that are worth like 20 cents a piece on some trash pool that got hacked right away. This is why small cap coins are terrible to hedge mine. Sometimes stuff just goes wrong, right? And you're like, well, cool. I just lost a lot of money. No big deal. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Team Black Miner. Its release is version 1.36. Here we go. Released 20 hours ago, version 1.36 says that there are faster speeds on AMD cards. Number 2, they fixed a DAG validation error on startup. ZIL DAG created instead of ETH/ETC. 3, they removed buffer error, crash, and buffered console output. 4, check and correct kernel parameters on illegal user input. 5, improved kernel auto-tune by letting it run longer. 6, fixed jumping hash rate bug on AMD. And 7, fixed crash on ultra low difficulty. So there you go. They do show, which is interesting, 6900 XT grabbing 66 mega hash a second. I'm not a huge fan of Team Black Miner. I know that some people have had good luck with it. They feel very similar to the old Phoenix Miner, which is like inflated hash rate compared to what you actually get on the pool. So I don't even necessarily believe that whatever hash rate you get using them is accurate and true to the best of my knowledge. But, it is what it is. Oh, so let's move on. Let's move on to, I guess, the big topic for the day, which is, of course, mining profits. We're going to start off, of course, with Bitcoin falling below 43K. I'm going to get an updated number here for us. Bitcoin price. Let's see if we're still under 43K. So let's talk about it in an article coming from Coindesk, published January 6th at 1:53 a.m. CST. So, 8 hours ago. In the last 24 hours, crypto futures worth over $812 million were liquidated as Bitcoin broke its $46,000 support level and fell to $43,000, according to data from analytics tool CoinGlass. Bitcoin fell to as low as $42.50 in Asian hours on Thursday morning after trading above $47,000 on Wednesday. Traders took on $317 million worth of losses on Bitcoin tracked futures alone, with 87% of those positions betting on upward price movements. Liquidations occurred when an exchange forcefully closed the trader's leverage position as a safety mechanism due to partial or total loss of the trader's initial margin. This happens primarily in futures trading, which only tracks asset prices, as opposed to spot trading where traders own the actual assets. A drop in Bitcoin price led to altcoin markets seeing deep cuts. Over 200,000 positions were liquidated in the past 24 hours, with the bulk of those losses coming during the U.S. hours. More than 87% of the $800 million in liquidation occurred on long positions, which are futures contracts in which traders bet on a price rise. Crypto exchange OKEX saw 241 million in liquidations, the most among major exchanges, while traders on Binance took on 236 million in losses. Futures on Ether, the native currency of the Ethereum network, saw over 164 million in liquidations. Altcoins traders saw relatively smaller losses, with Solana and XRP traders seeing 18 million and 16 million in losses, respectively. Open interest, the number of settled futures or derivatives across crypto futures, fell 8% following the move, implying traders exited their positions, seeing weakening market conditions. Wednesday's plunge came shortly after the release of the minutes of the December meeting of the U.S. Federal Reserve. The agency revealed it would slowly reduce its $8.3 trillion balance sheet in 2022 after announcing a record asset buying program in 2020 when the coronavirus outbreak initially started, as reported. I guess I'm demonetized for reading that. Thank you, Coindesk. I'm not allowed to talk about that stuff. I don't know. Obviously, it's fine. We know it happened. We know it affected the economy. Whatever. We get it. It's bad, boys. It's real bad. So if we look at how this is all affecting mining in general, let's go ahead. Well, we can start with my pool, or my farm, which has now gone down to $272 US. Now, here's what I will say that I am happy about. I'm still making 0.08 ETH, which means at least the difficulty hasn't pushed me below that yet. I'm having some issues, I think, with some cards staying cool or something, because we're down to like 5.13 gigahash. We should be at like 5.5. Something's probably going on over there. I did notice I have one GPU down, 2080 Ti, which I need to move over to Flux anyways. We got to go reconfigure some rigs as soon as I get some additional power supplies up in the hizzy, but that's kind of what I'm working with. So obviously the price of Ethereum has crashed down pretty good too, then, is what that means. So if we did a quick search for Ethereum price, what are we looking at? We're under 3,400. We're at 3,399. So, you know, almost 3,400. And that is currently what we're sitting at with Ethereum, which is why we are making the same amount of Ethereum, but making less in US dollar. And that's how it's going to translate across. Let's go ahead and take a look at what it looks like in what to mine, and go from there. So at this point, we have a single 3090 only doing $5.18 a day after power on Ethereum, with a 10 cents a kilowatt hour push. Let's get the Zel hash corrected here at 110. It's not much better. I mean, it's not good at all, actually, really. It's $3.63 a day after power on Flux. Let's go ahead and look at the RTX 2080 Ti, where we've seen, I suppose, the most promise in altcoins out of any other GPU currently out. And look at that. We have Flux in first at $2.42 a day after power, with Ethereum actually in first if we take into account power at $2.45 a day after 10 cents a kilowatt hour. This is going to depend on your power, of course. If we were looking at something like 5.5 cents a kilowatt hour, which is the average, you would end up being 2 cents a day more profitable on Flux. But, you know, that's not going to be the case for most residential GPU miners. I just kind of wanted to check for myself, to be honest. You know, while I was here, just see, it's probably not worth switching over off of ETH, to be honest. Let's go ahead and take a look at 1660 supers. See what they're looking like. $1.30 a day after power. Remember when they were $3 a day after power? And let's look at the 6800 XT. We are $2.98 a day after power on the 6800 XT. 5,700 XTs. We are at $2.56 a day after power cost. All right. So there you go. There's all of our stuff. Now, miner pool, I haven't hit another block. Let's refresh just to make sure. So we had 2 days on, 2 days off so far. We had 2 days where we hit a solo block and 2 days where we have not hit anything. So there you go. That's kind of the luck of the draw with solo mining. And it is what it is. ASIC miners, check this out. The KD6 has dropped from profitability of $280 a day to $215 a day. I was talking about this possibly being an issue yesterday when we were talking about purchasing them from Gold Shell. So now your $37,000 or $38,000 investment before you even get it shipped to you has gone down in ROI. You're at 215. Still not a bad ROI. It's 176 days instead of like 120 or something like that. But we still don't know exactly what's going to happen with these markets. You know, I'm sure there's some predictors or trade analysis channels that you guys could check out in, you know, different zones, I suppose, or different channels, on different channels. I'm not one that's going to essentially talk about trading too much. We do know, we will talk about, obviously, like, let's go over here. Not miner stat, mining pool stats. There we go. Let's go ahead and, well, obviously, look at this 7-day change. Looks like Raven Coin is up 23%. Look at that. Looks like Flux is still up. Syscoin is still up. Let's see what all is up. Ooh, some of these are pretty bad coins. Don't go off of this. No. I think my morning coffee is kicking in too, boys. I might have to go take a quick break. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's see here. So, anything really worth it? No. Yeah, I'm going to have to use the restroom. It is what it is. Look, I'm going to leave this chart up and I'll be right back. Give me a second. Sometimes, you know, it is what it is. Whatever. I'll be back. Alrighty, sorry about the delay, boys. Let's get back into it. Let me pull up the mining pool's profits for the day. My stomach feels better, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and hop into it. That's the first time I think ever that we've had to do that live. All right. Last 90 days, Crazy Pool in first, Mining Pool Hub in second, and Ethermine in third. Last 60 days, Crazy Pool in first with Mining Pool Hub in second and Flex Pool in third. Last 30 days, ZET in first with Crazy Pool in second and Mining Pool Hub in third. Last 21 days, Crazy Pool in first with Flex Pool in second and Mining Pool Hub in third. Last 14 days, Crazy Pool in first with Mining Pool Hub in second and Flex Pool in third. Last 7 days, Crazy Pool in first with Flex Pool in second and Mining Pool Hub in third. Last 3 days, ZET in first with Mining Pool Hub in second and Flex Pool in third. And the last day, we have ZET in first with Mining Pool Hub in second and Flex Pool in third. We kind of already looked at the ASIC mining profitability and just kind of noted, that we had this drop in the KD6. There is an interesting newcomer on Script, which is Goldcoin. I don't know anything about Goldcoin personally, but I guess we could try to Google our way through it. Let me know if you guys are familiar with Goldcoin. It sounds scammy to me. Let's see. Here's the GLC website. Pop into it. I bet it's going to be like, we back everything with gold. Digital gold for a new generation. Goldcoin is a peer-to-peer cryptocurrency that finally delivers on the promises of decentralization. It's completely built and maintained by a team of dedicated volunteers who firmly believe in promoting economic freedom. Thanks to these principles and a focus on game-changing usability, features like 2-minute confirmation speeds and an instant zero-conf transactions, Goldcoin is fundamentally changing how cryptocurrency and economies operate. You mean you just copied the splash page of every other cryptocurrency? Is that what you did? Because that's what it looks like you did. Because that's what it looks like you did. All right, so it looks like they don't use proof of work. They use something called they call it proof of participation. It was launched in 2013. That's getting sketchy. All right. Like Bitcoin, Goldcoin currently uses a proof of work based consensus mechanism to secure its blockchain. The concept was adapted to money by Hal Finney in 2004 through the idea of reusable proof of work. However, over the years, it has become abundantly clear that proof of work is not a sustainable mechanism due to its ever-increasing energy consumption. Blah, 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 blah. All right, so this is just basically them talking crap about proof of work and proof of stake. Let's see what they say proof of participation is, because this is a new one to me, boys. What is needed is a system that does not incentivize the accumulation of hashing power or the accumulation of tokens. Goldcoin offers a new consensus mechanism, not yet, by the way. Obviously, it's still on Script. And solution to this problem with the introduction of POP, proof of participation. If each participating node is entered into an equal lottery system, users will not be motivated to accumulate wasteful computing resources, nor will they be motivated to accumulate large numbers of coins to increase their odds of receiving a reward. Goldcoin uses a system where each participating node can be thought of as a tiny mining rig, as long as the node has been validated and contains any addresses containing so it's still proof of stake then. It's a master node, right? The total reward received as a result of block generation is the current block subsidy, along with any transaction fees located within the block. Subsequent blocks are generated based on verifiable, unique, and almost unpredictable information from the preceding block. Blocks are linked by virtue of these connections, creating a chain of blocks and transactions that can be traced all the way back to the Genesis block. Ooh. I mean, so it's basically proof of stake, just using some marketing terminology to highlight the differences in what they're doing versus proof of stake. Then they also, because it sounds super similar to Peercoin's proof of stake, they do have contrast here, which says Peercoin uses a coin age parameter as part of its mining probability algorithm. In that system, the longer your Peercoins have been stationary in your account, the more power they have to mint a block. The act of minting a block requires the consumption of coin age value, and the network determines the consensus by selecting the chain with the largest total consumed coin age. When Peercoin blocks are orphaned, the consumed coin age is released back to the block's originating account. As a result, the cost to attack the Peercoin network is low, since attackers can keep attempting to generate blocks until they succeed. Peercoin minimizes these and other risks by centrally broadcasting blockchain checkpoints several times a day to freeze the blockchain and lock in transactions. Goldcoin does not use coin age in this way. Each account's chance of mining a block is purely random. So that's how they make it different. Here's my question, which is weird. Because if we talk about what they say here and then what they say there, so it doesn't add up, right? Like, it's not gold-like. Because gold-like incentivizes somebody to purchase a bunch of gold as an asset to increase their net worth, when they are specifically speaking against it with their proof of popularity, whatever, their pop algorithm here, then they are specifically against the accumulation of more hardware or of more coin based on their algorithm. So like what they say on their site isn't consistent. They seem to have no principles, or do not have the ability to keep their principles consistent across all of their documentation. And that's a red flag to me, just in general. It's like, oh, you buy this like gold, but don't buy it like gold, because we're trying to make things more fair. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. No use for third parties. Blah, blah. All right. So here's my question. What exchange are they on at this point? Why is it always... I like MinerStat, but I swear sometimes I can't ever find the... What are they basing it off of? Website. Well, here, let's check the website again. Here we go. South Exchange, BlockDX, CPADX. Yeah. No real good exchanges at this time. All right. Let's go ahead and get to questions and answers, boys. We'll kind of go through them. That's all I had for today. So let's do it. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Obviously, there was computer technical difficulties. There was biological technical difficulties. It's just one of those days. You know what I mean? So let's go ahead and pop open that. And if you have a question for me, at Son of a Tech is priority. Secondary to that is, what trumps that is, of course, super chat. All right. I'm scrolling down for questions. Dan Kryling says, what coin is mining going to shift to when ETH goes proof of stake? We don't know. It has to move proof of stake before we'll know. We don't really know. That's the God honest truth. Is that the way that term is said? I don't think so. Honest to God truth. There we go. It's fine. Digital Mayhem says, at Son of a Tech, how do you get a solo mine Firo while using a pool? I don't know what you mean. I haven't messed with Firo's solo mining, but I would assume you still just have to mine it solo, or mine Firo to a solo pool. Doesn't really quite make sense the way you frame that question. Nos Daddy, thanks for the $5. So it'd be like, hey y'all, hold up, I gotta poop. Yep. It's true. It's a true story. I had to do it. It was rough. I don't know where it came from. I went before the show, I promise. Balteri says, do you think Bitcoin miners are selling their Bitcoin? Thanks and keep up. No, it was the futures running out. And then people selling the futures. That's my understanding, as opposed to rallying, right? So in the last 24 hours, crypto futures worth over 812 million were liquidated as Bitcoin broke its $46,000 support level and fell to 43,000. Specifically futures. A lot of people in cryptocurrency don't like futures trading. They expected this to happen, and it was. I feel like a lot of people were against it for good reason early on. There were a lot of Bitcoin maxis that were not keen on the idea. But when large institutional investors get in, they like to get in certain ways, I suppose. I don't really know. Dynamine says he's having issues with Hive OS. I mean, if anything drops, the API drops. I haven't really had any issues with it mining necessarily. Techie Rod said, did anybody get any GPUs at the Best Buy queue yesterday? I didn't. I got in line for 2, and I didn't get to get it. Any experience with bronze PSUs? No, none. I have not heard of that brand. All right, now we're getting to some questions. John Lemon says 6800 video progress. I already did a 6800 video. I guess we just want an updated one for Flux, huh? That's the thing I have to do. My 6800 needs to be rebuilt or something. It's overheating. I don't like it. very stressful. Fraz says, "That son of a tech, any advice on snagging a 3090 Ti when it comes out? It feels like not much has changed in the overall market." Yeah, I mean, so first of all, new GPUs are still going to be hard to get a hold of regardless, because what we have is a scalper problem, a bot problem. We don't have necessarily as bad of a shortage problem due to miners as advertised. What we do have on initial launches, things coming from retail stores, what we have is a problem. We have a scalper problem. This is across the entire economy. It's like if you guys had kids for Christmas this year and you were going to purchase toys, like our Target, like when I went to, I mean, luckily we had toys early on, but our Target when I went there was completely, all the toy shelves were empty. All of them were getting resold on Marketplace. It was ridiculous. People are trying to be entrepreneurs in the most way possible, and that is basically purchasing everything from retail and then hiking the price up, and it really doesn't matter what it is. That is their entrepreneurial spirit that I'm not going to say it doesn't require any skill, but now with today's bots and so on, it just requires some botting and you got to put in some work. I get it, to each their own, but like I said, new cards, I don't see new cards getting past this anytime soon. I think that the new cards are going to hit high. What we could see, you know, if the market liquidates further, Ethereum crashes more, mining profitability goes down, we could see a flood of used GPUs onto the market, which would be super awesome. So right now, maybe I mean, it depends. I don't necessarily believe we're technically in a bear market yet, because I think that would take more time to analyze. So like for me, I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe we get one more rally. Maybe we don't get another rally. It's hard to judge. I'm not, like I said, like I'm not a trading channel. I'm sure there's some people that have their thoughts and opinions on this. Obviously breaking down past 43,000 is worrisome. But then again, like it's based on futures, so, and those futures liquidating. So once that's all settled out and out of the way, I mean, that was a lot. That was 812 million liquidated, right? I don't know. I guess, sorry, I got off the main point. I have no suggestions for getting a 3090 Ti because personally I don't know where I will get one. I haven't got an RTX 2060 12GB yet. My helium miners haven't come in. Like, I'm not the king of figuring out stock. I just try to do what everybody else does. Hit the best buy drops, hit the micro centers, scour the internet hoping that I find a deal. And I even share those out when I do find them, like the Roguecast one, for example. So, I don't know. And then, like I said, I think they'll still be scalped. The Stick Shark said, "As son of a tech, I just added 116 mega hash yesterday. Congratulations. I'm getting more ETH than I was, but less US dollar." Yeah, and that's expected. You know, I will say, like, obviously the stress levels for like being a miner, a cryptocurrency miner and a cryptocurrency mining YouTuber full-time are super high, right? Revenues in the dirt across the board. You know, you're trying to like feed the family and then like also like stay positive, and you can get a little down. I'm not gonna lie, you can get a little down. That being said, like I talk about like the mining discipline, we expected things like bear markets and drops and so on. And from my perspective, it's still just keep building the farm, keep building the farm. And if we get a whole bunch of used GPUs that flood the market, then great, we'll keep building the farm. Mike said, ask Son of a Tech, what coin are you CPU mining? Ugh, I need to switch it. It's still on Raptorium. I need to go back to QRL. Real Ragos. Or here, hold on. We have 2 super chats. Car designer Chris for $5. Thank you, Chris. Says, when does ETH proof of stake take place? June 2022. To the best of our knowledge. Nostaddy, thanks for the $10. Another donation from you. He says, do you personally think it's a better idea to reinvest the profits back into GPUs even though the crypto price is down? Or just hold on to the coin until the price comes up? You know, that's going to be up to like your individual risk tolerance, I think, at this point, right? And the question that we don't have the answer to is, you know, are GPUs going to be hitting the used market and be super cheap? Are we going to see a whole bunch of 5700s on the used market for, you know, like we did the RX 580s that were $75 a pop? Are we going to see a bunch of 5700 XTs for $75 a pop in 6 to 8 months or whatever? Is that going to happen? Because if so, it's like, well, why dump money on like a 3070 for $1,400 that gets 60 mega hash a second when you're going to get a 5700 that gets 56 mega hash a second for $100 in 6 to 8 months? The thing is, like, we just don't know the answer to that. Right? My Cinema X says, that's Son of a Tech, hodl WETH on Polygon instead of on ETH mainnet. Is it the same? Any chance my WETH are useless if Polygon is gone? 100% chance your WETH is useless if Polygon is gone. 100% chance it's useless. Long-term holds, I know this kind of sucks because obviously, like, if you're using the ETH and like you're participating in, I don't know, NFTs, DeFi, whatever it is, then by all means hop on to Polygon. If you are just holding ETH and you're not doing anything with it, I'd probably put it on layer 1 and control my own keys. I wouldn't, yeah. Polygon has centralization issues too. FE, thanks for asking how my back is doing. It's doing better. It feels a little funky, but it's doing better. Stiff. Bad Man Bot asks if Matic has recovered. That's a good question. One of the things that I wasn't clear on is some people said they were still having issues. Mine's connected right now. Mine's working, so it looks like it's recovered to me. I don't use Ravencoin Lite. I haven't touched it. Sorry, guys. I don't know the answers to those. GFDSOK said, why is Ethereum dropping so hard? Primarily because it hasn't actually decoupled from Bitcoin and the Bitcoin futures ran out. That would be my assumption. In addition to that, I think we did have some weird, wasn't there some weird news from Vita? There's something odd that was going on there. I think it's primarily those futures running out though for Bitcoin. But the whole market's down pretty much at this point. Because I thought, who was it that was talking about it? I don't see it. I'm not going to find it. Yeah, nothing specifically for Ethereum right now that I see. Happy Dictator said, do you remember how much 2080 Ti's were going for last bear market? I don't. Do you? Soul7 says, that son of a tech heard anything on Best Buy in-person drops? I tried once. I got there too late. Like, you have to wait in line like pretty much like 2 days straight. Which is no fun. Let's see. ERT Ted said, at Son of a Tech, what are your thoughts on the hash rates for the RX 6500 and the 3050? I think the 3050 is going to be great on ETH. I think the 6500 is going to be surprisingly good on Flux, thanks to its high core clock. It may be incredibly good on something like Toncoin, but you know, Toncoin's something that I'm a little cautious on, very cautious on. But the 3050 is looking like pretty good because they bumped up the memory speed, and that memory bandwidth is pretty good, and the launch price is fantastic. Jesse said, at Son of a Tech, I heard the Noctua NHD, you have the Noctua NHD 15 and your CPU still goes up to 80C when mining. I don't get it. R7 5700G. So first question would be, are you using the onboard video? Because if you are, you should turn that off and use a discrete GPU. Second question would be, do you have precision boost turned on? And if so, you should turn that off, but you should also, Noctua should even be able to handle that. If it's in a mining farm, maybe it's a little different. But on top of that, you know, if you just misinstalled it and there's a little bit of plastic on the bottom of the cooler, that could be your culprit too. I would assume it would get much hotter than that though, if that was the case. All right, guys, so we have to address this once again. Max Herman said, didn't Vitalik just come out and say ETH 2.0 is like 2 to 3 years away in a recent interview? ETH 2.0 and the merge are not the same thing. If you hear that ETH 2.0 is delayed, that does not mean that the merge is delayed, which means that you need to understand that those things are two separate individual topics, okay? This seems to be rampant around the mining community, or just Ethereum community in general. They hear ETH 2.0 delayed and they immediately think the merge is delayed. Not the case. The merge right now is still set. The difficulty bomb will be diffused in February, and then the merge is still set for June of 2022. Nothing here has changed, and this was even confirmed, as we talked about yesterday, by Vitalik in WeChat, as well as now on Twitter. The merge is not currently delayed. And it's very important to understand there's a difference between the merge and ETH 2.0 fully rolling out. Fraz says, Tech got another one. Is converting ETH to ETH2 a taxable event, or even converting Bitcoin to ETH directly? Ask your tax attorney. I can't answer that for you. The rules are changing all the time. Big A, I don't have a speculative moon bag. I guess the only thing that I bought recently that would be considered, that would be micro pets on the Binance Smart Chain. Kyle, it's not the future of Bitcoin running out, it's the futures. All right, so maybe we can help you guys out here understand this. What are futures? Let me see if there's a good one that helps. Fool usually does a good job. Yeah, so here you go. How a futures contract works is actually fairly simple. Under a futures contract, the contract seller agrees to sell a fixed amount of certain commodity to the contract buyer on a particular day in the future. Most importantly, the price that the buyer will pay the seller is based on the prevailing futures market price at the time the two parties enter into the contract. So what you gotta, what it was created for was for farmers to protect their investment and have a guaranteed amount of money that they are going to receive for their yield. The benefit of the people creating this contract and purchasing the futures essentially is once that yield has been produced and they are able to purchase it, they are basically trying to bet on that value increasing over what they initially made the contract for. And so when they run out, so then there's futures that are based on futures contracts that are based on assets like Bitcoin. One of the reasons like it doesn't make sense compared, like there's a very practical reason for like farmers and like producers of commodities to sell futures, because there's physical actual goods being given there. I don't think it makes much sense in something like Bitcoin, but for example, you basically create a contract with someone that says, I think Bitcoin will be $50,000 on January 6th, 2022. So I'll pay you the $50,000 now or whatever it is. And then when that contract runs out, they have to make that trade at that price. Because they make that trade at that price or whatever, then that usually influences an actual market sell-off to a certain extent, which is what happened here. More than likely, the people that were purchasing the futures were purchasing and expecting Bitcoin to be worth a lot more than the 46,000, and they are trying to stop their losses at this point, more than likely. Once again, this is not trading advice. I do not do any trading. I do not own any futures. And this is just my very layman understanding of how this is functioning. And I would not recommend it. Ahmed Ali says, that son of a tech, if you had the chance to get an RTX A2012 GPU for $700 each, 12 gigabyte, I'm assuming, do you think it's a good deal? Yeah, I think it's a good deal. I'd rather pay a little less, obviously. I think somebody in here was getting like 35 of them for like 5 something a piece, but that's a little far-fetched. Ifty Iman says, futures destroyed me today, got lost my 1 month worth of ETH down the drain. Yeah, I just, look, boys, there's a reason why. Let me see if it's up on the channel yet. I always hate when it's not. There's a reason why. Oh, it's not up yet. Oh, well, let's go over there. Teespring. Iman says, ooh, where's my store? Why is my store always hard to find? The only one that's sold is the one I bought myself. Oh, man, guys. You got to help me out in this bear market, boys. Come on. I made a shirt for you. I made a shirt for you. Look at that. Look at that. That's why you just got to keep calm and mine on. Don't do any of that trading stuff. Just keep mining. Stay calm. You'll be good. I'm selling this shirt. I just made this design myself. And I made an NFT for it too. Which should be linked down below as well. See? There are no offers on it. You don't have to pay 1 ETH. The system was broken. Polygon has experienced a demand and influx, causing intermittent downtime. Yeah, don't try to buy this right now at all. Don't even send me an offer. It's on the Polygon network. But you can go buy a t-shirt. You know what I mean? Anyways, boys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Hit that like button if you enjoy these crypto mining morning shows. They seem to struggle in comparison to like some of the other content. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to do it all. We may reel back, do less mining shows, but it's also hard because it's like, how do you maintain everything else? I don't know. Anyways, I'm working through it. The dip is real. It'll be okay. It was the future's expiring. Just stay calm, mine on. Keep calm, mine on. Buy a shirt to remind you. Buy one for your mom. Buy one for your dad. Buy one for your kids. Buy one for your wife. You know what I mean? Can't do a t-shirt giveaway. I had to buy my own. I'm going to wear it. I should have internet soon out at the farm, and the goal is to turn the 150 square foot office into a live podcast setup, or not a live one, but a podcast setup where I can invite people out. It's closer to Austin than where I live, so the only downside there that I'm thinking is that I don't like that it's with the farm. But I figured that the type of people that I would be having come out would already be, let's say, not interested in stealing my shit. Hopefully. But yeah, I'm looking at that, and the only reason is because the space is there, and I do want to do a podcast, but we are, just not quite there yet. It's not quite there yet. We've already done mining farm tours, Raul. It's just still, there's no movement because nothing's been, like, my construction's so far behind that septic and water isn't even in yet. Oh. Oh, good luck, boys. It'll be okay. We're going to be good. Everybody's going to start buying Bitcoin again, or it's going to go back down. What was the bottom? What was the top? What was the top was 20. So our bottom's 20, huh? Our bottom for this bear market's like 21. If we followed the Bitcoin super cycle. I am drinking Gamer Supps. Star. The bottom for this cycle is like 21K. John Lemon, no, I haven't been adding to Cardano. I just have Ergo. Georgery, what's the max price I'd pay for an A2000? Me personally, I'd pay $1,000 for one to review it on the channel. If I'm building a rig with one, if I'm building a rig with one, that's different. Let me look. I'd probably do like $700. I think it's fair. Because they're about the mining performance of a 5600 XT. Mike, I'm not storage mining, but I am going to call it. I'm headed off to jiu-jitsu. Hopefully it'll go better than it did Wednesday. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.